Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States. That's now midday if you're in Australia, or around 1 or 2 AM if you're in the UK or Europe. I'm glad to see you guys remember that the stream was starting later because of the US daylight saving thing. It's good to see you all. I hope you're all doing well. You got transcoding Euro, good to hear. You actually had to start and stop the stream once this morning to get transcoding to kick in. Snappy Girl says, I love how Twitch is like, here are the rules, thanks. I've been watching for, I don't know, ages. I know, it's weird, isn't it? Sometimes when you go to the chat, it pops the rule thing up again. It's Twitch. Twitch is being twitchy, you know what it's like. Remember guys, if you miss a live stream, so you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch channel. You can also catch my streams on my YouTube channel, and if you are watching me on my YouTube channel and you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, go to my, look in the description below my video, you'll see a link to my Twitch channel. Click that, click the About Me at the top of my Twitch page, and in the graphics, the panels, you'll find a blue graphic. Click that, that'll give you an invite link to join the Discord. If you're watching live though here on Twitch, you can click the link Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat to join the Discord server, become a Phildo. There's a gallery section there. I love looking at the work you guys have posted, and I see you guys have posted some new stuff in the gallery. I'll show that today just before I sign off. What else? That's right, we're working on a game called The House in the Hollow. You can wishlist that on Steam. If you're watching on YouTube, of course, just look in the description below my video. That'll take you to the Steam store page where you can wishlist the game or check it out. Or you can click that link that Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat. What are we talking about here? Yes, good morning to you too, Hellforge. Hellforge says I'm doing alright, just having some coffee and trying to wake up. How are you doing? I'm doing really good. Sniper Girl's doing good, good to hear. Coffee and wake up at 1 AM as Euro says. Hellforge says I did take a nap earlier. And if you want to know more about me and who I am and what I do, you can go to my website, which is my Twitch username, phildoes3d with a .com on the end of it. That'll take you to my website. It's good to see you, Hellforge and Sniper Girl and Euro. Hellforge says, because that's how much of a caffeine addict I am. Android, last day, Android. It's good to see you, and I see you posted a new image in the gallery, which looks awesome as always. And again, like I said, I'll show it just before I sign off for today. And I see also, Euro, you posted a picture of your new desk. It's actually really similar to my desk, looking at the photo. My desk is sort of the same colours. It's that reddy sort of wood top and dark grey sides. We'll check that out again just before I sign off for the day, but it looks really cool. 3 monitors set up, eh? Ooh, nice. And you still got to set up your second desk, you were saying? Oh, your second PC, I mean. Euro says we shifted back a week before the US. Oh, okay, yeah, I know that Europe daylight saving is around the same time as the United States. We do it a few weeks before Europe and the US here. Our daylight savings changes a couple of weeks beforehand. Because, you know, we come to you from the future, so we have to be first. But I knew it was around the same time. Euro says back to. Oh, thank you. That's YouTube. Yes, YouTube. Nightbot. What's Nightbot's now? Oh, that's right. Nightbot's posting a link to my art station. I don't talk about my art station because I haven't updated it in quite a while, but I should. I really should. Oh no, did I? Sniper Girl says you skipped my resub message completely. I'm sorry, Sniper Girl. Thank you for the resubscription. You are awesome. 32 months you've been subbed to me, man. Thank you very much, Sniper Girl. I do appreciate the subs. I appreciate it, guys, when you sub to the channel, so thank you. And 32 months, that's a long time. You would probably be... Yeah, you're right up there with my longest subscribers. For sure. So thank you, Sniper Girl. Remember though, if you actually attach a message to your resub, I don't see it because I use Streamlabs chatbot and it doesn't show me messages. So if you do, tell me and put it in the Twitch chat if you want to attach a message, so we know what you said. Mine too, Euro says. What am I missing? I'm not missing anything else, am I? What? you guys are trying to confuse me, aren't you? Because, you know, a week away and Phil gets easily confused anyway, so. Let me catch up with the rest of the chat. I've got to scroll down. Kamal! Hey Kamal, it's good to see you. Oh no, don't unsub, Sniper Girl. Euro says, I'm officially slacking till mid-January. Oh, up your luck. I wish I could. Man. No, I'm going until mid-December and then I'm back around mid-January. So yeah, that's just a heads up for Christmas. You guys know my Christmas break usually though. So about mid-December I won't be streaming until about mid-January. From mid-December to mid-January. But from now up until then I'm streaming every week as usual. So I'm jealous. Euro, half your luck. It's good to see you, Kamal, as well. Euro says, yeah, it's an oak finish, metal legs. Oh, you got metal legs. It looked a bit grey. Like the legs look grey from the photo, but I haven't expanded the photo yet. So, but the actual top of the desk looks like a similar colour to mine. And you are right, it's always nice to get a new desk because it's nice and sturdy. Because you guys remember, with my old desk, I was streaming, or was I streaming? I can't remember if I was actually streaming when it happened, but one of the bolts fell out of it and my desk sort of like went like that. That freaked me out because I've got too much equipment sitting up here to come crashing to the ground. So yeah, that pushed me to buy a new desk, and it's nice to have a nice, stable, flat desk. Because I don't know about you, but after a while, desks tend to bow like this a little bit. Let's go like that. Because I have like a corner desk, so it's in 3 sections, and the center section always tends to, after a while, sort of like start to dip. And my old desk was getting quite bad, but this one's nice and flat, so it's good. It's the Android Lust says, wish I had an L-shaped desk. Yeah. L-shapes are really good. I really like these corner desks, you know, where you've got the 2 sides and then the straight bit at the front and the 2 bits that go up on an angle. I find that because I have 3 monitors on my screen on my desk as well, and 2 of them are 4K monitors, so they're quite big, 32-inch 4K monitors, so I need a lot of room, and I put my PCs on my desk, so I need my desk to be really quite big. I know a lot of you guys don't do that. You put your PC under your desk or beside your desk, which is, you know, cool, providing it's not sitting on carpet. If your PC is on carpet, please make sure you put like a wooden plank or something underneath the PC, just for airflow. You don't want to sort of suffocate your PC if it's being blocked by carpet. But the reason I put them up on the desk is because it helps to reduce the amount of dust that collects in it. Because you tend to get a lot more dust the lower down the PC sits. At least that's what I find. Yuri says to Android Lust, it's 2 desks. Oh, I see what he's got. It looks like he's got 2. So he's got like 1 here and he's got 1 sort of there, pushed down to make the L. If you hadn't mentioned it, I wouldn't have noticed either, but I can see it now that you say it. Sniper Girl says, Dero, love your desk. Yes, I do too. And very nice. Nice setup. He's got a nice setup. And you've got... Are they... I got to check this out. Hang on. Yeah, they look like... Are they wooden slat blinds as well? Because that's what I have in my place. Even the colour of the walls are similar to my place. Yeah, all of my windows have those wooden blinds. I don't know what sort of wood it is, but it's wood. I've got to oil them actually. Android Lust says I couldn't tell. Sniper Girl says you're welcome. My resub message was moderator founder, 32 months, subscriber gifter, leader, 3 Sniper Girl 85, 32 months of supporting the old guy. Why? Wondering if that's a sign of needing mental health. Oh, that's nice. She's so mean to me. So mean. Selfless One, it's good to see you, Selfless One. Sorry, I just noticed you in the chat. I hope you're doing well. Sounds like you need some coffee, Helpwood says. I think you're right. You can never have too much coffee. And I got my big cup now, so I'm good. Yura says, yeah, I got two the same, so they'll be identical in height. My huge mouse mat covers most of the join, and they clear the window sill by 5mm. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's I think why I didn't notice that it was two separate desks, because of your mouse mat there covering it up. That is a big mouse mat, actually. Huge. Covers the entire keyboard and mouse. Selfless One says, waves at the family, and the family waves back. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Kamal says, thank you, my friend. You're welcome. Elfwood says, it's one of those desks that can be used as a standing one. Is it one of those desks that can be used as a standing desk as well? Nira says, the legs are like grey charcoal colour. It was that or black or white, neither of which go with the wood facings in my house, so I went with the grey. I did too. I went with my desk doesn't have legs like yours. Mine has like wooden sides, if you know what I mean, and they're that dark grey colour as well, and it works really quite well with that colour of the top of the desk. It looks pretty good. So yeah, I'm the same. I could have gone with, I think the other one was a pale grey with like a beech wood top desk, but I decided to go with like the cherry wood top colour and the dark grey sides, and I'm happy with my choice. Yura says, no, I did find a corner standing desk for cheap ex-commercial, but it would have cost as much to collect it as it was for the desk delivered. Yeah, standing desks are becoming more popular now. They're good for your posture. So basically, you know, they're high enough that you don't sit down, you stand at your desk. I like to sit down during the day. I can't stand for like, 12 hours a day. I just can't do it. But they are better for you, ergonomically. Smurf, it's Smurf. It's good to see you, Smurf. I hope you're doing well. Smurf says it's already a hive of activity in here. It is. They were all ready to go the minute I started the stream, which is good to see. Yura says, yep, the blinds are wooden. Yeah, that's what I thought. I have those blinds in my place as well, on all the windows. I don't have curtains anywhere. I mean, I like curtains, but when I moved in, those blinds were there, so that's what's been left there. And like I said, I have to oil them because you're supposed to oil those wooden blinds regularly, and I've not done them in like 10 years, so I really should. Gamal says, today I understand that Substance forces us to upgrade our Windows operating systems? What? I still use Windows 7. Substance says for upgrading my GPU driver, but I have the latest driver for Windows 7. Really? Are Adobe pushing the latest? No, that can't be, because I have the latest version of Substance Painter, and I'm still running a studio driver from October of last year, so I'm not sure what you mean, Kamal. Unless they pushed out a new update today or yesterday that I'm not aware of. But yeah, NVIDIA are not releasing drivers for Windows 7 anymore. It's Windows 10 and 11 only now. So yeah. And NVIDIA's new drivers are DCH only, no more standard drivers. So DCH are the drivers where you have to install the NVIDIA control panel from the Microsoft Store. It doesn't come, well, I was going to say it doesn't come built into the driver now, but it sort of does. It does, but it's meant to come from the, so when it gets updated, it'll get updated via Windows Store. A lot of people are not happy about that. But that's what Microsoft wants, and these companies have to do what Microsoft say because it's their operating system. So yeah, a couple of things there about drivers that people aren't happy about. Yura says, I need a longer mic boom to go over my monitors now. That's what I have my mic boom that comes, well, it doesn't go over my monitors, but it's between two of them. So I have because I have two PCs, my stream machine and my work machine. I have the two main 4K screens on my work machine, and I have the other 2K screen on my stream machine, and there's a bit of a gap between the 2K screen and the 4K screen, and I sort of like pop the mic boom through that gap. Healthwood says, I mean, depending on if it's decaf or not, it's actually possible to have too much coffee. I don't drink decaf. Ew, why would you bother drinking coffee if you're going to drink decaf? Yeah. Gross. Shouldn't say that. I'm sure some people love decaf. Well, people love coffee and they don't want the caffeine, so. Smurf says it was awful. Smurf says twice, actually. Healthwood says it happens more often than I care to admit. Euro says to Healthwood, you should try rocket fuel coffee. I've not heard of that. Healthwood says I prefer Jameson cold brew whiskey, best of both worlds. Well, coffee and whiskey are very different. Nero says that's why my monitors are so far off my desk, better posture. Yeah, well again, I use monitor arms for my monitors because I like to have access to underneath of the monitor. I don't like to have the stand getting in the way. So I put my monitors on arms, 3 separate arms. But and that also makes it so I can lift them up to be eye height because yeah, ergonomically you sit up straight, you look straight ahead, and your monitor should be in your field of view straight ahead. You shouldn't have to look up or having to look down because it's bad for your neck. So feet flat on the ground, sitting up straight, and your monitor should be directly in front of you. Yura says, are you? I haven't oiled my blinds since I installed them in 2012. You're supposed to. You ask if they're wooden blinds, you're supposed to oil them. I mean, I haven't done them either in like 10 years, but you are supposed to. Because they tend to dry out from the sun. The wood tends to dry out and they can get brittle. So it increases the risk of them snapping. If you oil them up like once every few years, it's supposed to keep them nice and in good condition. The same with any wooden furniture, you really should oil it regularly. I do that too because I have a bit of wooden furniture in the house, so in the flat. Kamal says, you are exactly right, my friend. Yura says, I drink decaf at night after dinner. Fair enough. See, a lot of people say I can't drink coffee late at night because it keeps me awake. I can have a coffee right before I go to bed. Like, I can finish my coffee and 5 minutes later I jump into bed and I'm out like a light. So, it never seems to affect me like that. And I like strong coffee. Yura says, otherwise I'll stay up for days if he doesn't drink decaf after dinner. See, yeah, it doesn't affect me like that. Andrew Loss says, I was just about to ask why drink decaf coffee. I agree. Healthwood said, well, now we know why, because it doesn't keep people awake. But if you're like me, who doesn't get kept awake by coffee anyway. Healthwood says, I have no idea why people drink anything decaf. If I'm not drinking enough caffeine to vibrate, I don't know how to function. Well said. And I'm the same way. I drink coffee to vibrate. Yura says, I don't drink pop unless there's whiskey in it. Oh, really? No, I love Coca-Cola. Way too much. I'm falling back into bad habits again. I used to drink huge amounts of Coca-Cola when I was a real little butterball. And I'm falling back into those bad habits. I got to stop. Bad, Phil. Bad. I do like the Coca-Cola. So I do like my pop drinks. Healthwood says, same reason with non-alcoholic beer. What's even the point? The US says we have quite a high moisture here, so that's probably helps my blood. Well, that's probably true. Yeah. Unlike, me in Australia here, 2 miles from the surface of the sun, as you said, where it's blazingly hot. So I really should oil mine. US says to Healthwood, designated drivers. That's for the non-alcoholic beer, I'm assuming. Because yes, you don't want to go drinking and driving. That's bad and against the law. Healthwood says, Dero, that's a good point. Andrew Dust says, I don't even know who non-alcoholic beers are advertised to. Yura says, people who drive or have work in the morning. Healthwood says, if they're working in the morning, they can just drink American beer. Oh, burn. Well, Australia is the best beer in the world. You guys must know that. This is a land of where everyone drinks beer, basically. every man and their dog drinks beer, except Phil. Phil doesn't really like beer, but that's not true. I do like beer, but I like beers like Corona. You know, I don't like normal beer. I just don't like the taste of it. But Corona with a wedge of lemon in the top of the bottle, yum. Andrew Luss says, sounds like responsible people. Yura says, no, you don't. Scotland does. We're talking about beer, I think. Sniper Girl says, I don't care. I think Irish people would agree. Would argue, sorry. Yes, you're probably right. Irish would argue. So would the English, probably. Yura says, real beer. Sniper says, disagree. Kamal says, Corona was produced for ladies, I think. Oh, thanks very much, Kamal. Thank you very much. Well, I don't care. Call me a lady then if you want. I like Corona. Because it's got a different taste. It's not like a normal beer. Kamal's calling me a lady. Android Love says, Phil doesn't like beer, but last week says otherwise. Yes, I did drink a lot last week, because you guys know I wasn't streaming because of the Melbourne Cup. And you know that my work forces me to go to it. So, and they ply me with alcohol. So yeah, Phil had a bit of a hangover last week. Wasn't good. 2-day hangover. Where I felt absolutely dreadful. And I did. I think I drank beer, I drank champagne, I drank wine. I drank everything. Anything and everything that was put in front of me. Sniper Girl says, granted, I don't drink. See, you guys know I don't normally drink either. Any other time of the year, the only times I drink are Christmas, New Year, and the Melbourne Cup. Aside from those 3 days, I don't drink alcohol. I use alcohol in cooking, so if you want to consider that drinking alcohol, but not really. But I don't drink alcohol. So I used to be a real lush. In my younger days, when I used to go out to raves and warehouse parties, yep, I used to drink a lot. But I'm a responsible adult now. I don't do that anymore. Hey, what's going on? Helpwood says, see Phil, grow a beard. I can't grow a beard. This is as much as I can ever grow. Can you see? It's just this fuzz. I can't get it to grow any thicker than this. I mean, I clipper it to keep it at this length. But if I didn't clipper it, I would grow one of those really wispy beards. You know those, you guys know what I'm talking about. Guys that have those really wispy beards. They're not thick and full, they're wispy. And that would just look bad, so I clipper it. I can't grow a proper beard like you have, Hodge. I'm jealous of your beard. Sniper Girl says, so Yura says, speaking of beer, how was the Melbourne Cup over? Hangover was terrible. Kamal says, I misunderstood. Sorry, man. You don't have to apologise, Kamal. It's cool. Everything's cool. Upwood says, hangover in that heat doesn't sound like the best time. No, and it was actually quite warm on Melbourne Cup Day. It was about 30 degrees Celsius. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was warm. Yura says, a 2-day hangover must try harder. Those are rookie numbers. Helpwood says, rookie numbers for anyone outside of the UK. Helpwood says, rather for anyone in the UK. Andrew Lust says, after I had one sip of beer like 10 years ago, I never had another. Yeah, it's a really quiet taste beer. I can't say it's one of my favourite drinks either. Anything and everything else, but beer, meh. I mean, I'll drink it if it's put in front of me and I'm happy to be social, but I wouldn't order one, generally. Helpwood says, the national sport in the UK across all those countries is drinking yourself silly. Was this true? Sniper Girl says, last time I drank was communion ages ago. Wow. Well, it's good. Horrible wine. I like wine, but if you're talking about communion wine, maybe not so much. There's nothing wrong with drinking nothing wrong with doing anything in moderation, guys. If you know, as long as it's in moderation, you're fine. It's only when it gets out of control that it's a problem. So, and I don't not drink because I think drinking is bad or anything like that. I just don't like the feeling I get when I'm hungover. And as you get older, as you will find out, all of you, as you get older, you really don't like it. A hangover affects you worse. So the older you get, the worse the hangover gets. So it's just easier not to drink too much. Smurf says, went to the park this weekend for a 10-year anniversary and had some nice champagne. Oh, nice. Some champers. It's always nice to sit in the park and drink with friends. Or even not with friends, I guess, but you shouldn't drink alone. Don't they say you should never drink alone? Yura says, whenever people from here go to mainland Scotland, we get a free pass for being drunk because we can handle a lot more booze than mainlanders. Kamal says, I misunderstood. Sorry, mate. You don't have to apologise, Kamal. It's all okay. Android Lust says, the Sniper Girl Communion. You all used to get smashed in church. Yuri says, pretty sure it's table wine that they use at communion. Weak table wine. Sniper Girl says, Android Lust was a Lutheran church. They tend to use real wine. I think I was a teenager. Well, there you go. Go to church and get drunk. Android Lust says, real wine, fake wine. I don't know the difference. Selfless One says, has a drinking problem, so I use a tube like a robot. You gotta be like Homer and have one of those hats where you can put the cans in and 2 straws. Sniper Girl says to Android Lust, real wine, would imagine bottom shelf. Yuri says, I only got hangovers after I quit drinking. Sniper Girl says, alcoholism runs in my family. I stay away from it. Well, that sounds like a good plan of action because, yeah, there's nothing worse than having a problem with alcohol because it can be a real addictive thing. It's like gambling. It's the reason I don't like gambling. He says after he goes to the Melbourne Cup, that's all they do. I didn't bet on the Melbourne Cup. I never do. Because I don't like gambling in general. And that's why I said to you guys I would never work for a gambling company. Because, yeah, it ruins too many people's lives. People can have a real problem with gambling, so I don't want to contribute to that in any way, shape or form by doing any work for any company that encourages people to gamble. Yeah, and alcohol, people can have a problem with that as well, so you got to be careful there too. But like I said, generally you'll be okay in life so long as you just remember that everything in moderation. Don't go overboard with anything, regardless of what it is. Helpboy says, I don't mind having a glass or 2 with dinner. No, that's fine. But I don't drink outside of that. Yeah, look, it's very normal for European people to have wine with dinner. That's just the way you're brought up if you're European. And that's fine. Like I said, it's moderation, everything in moderation. As long as you're not going through, 3 bottles of wine a night, then you're fine. A glass or 2 of wine is fine every day. Actually, and they say a glass of red wine every day is supposed to actually be good for you. I don't particularly like red wine. I prefer white wine, but yeah, red wine, a glass a day, they reckon, is good for you. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. The Selfless One says, I have an art problem too. Well, that's a good problem to have. An art problem will encourage that problem. That addiction is fine. Yura says, my grandfather used to hide half bottles of whiskey up the drain pipes outside. Poor guy. World War II veteran. Well, yeah, maybe yeah. Which, people that come back from war have all sorts of terrible experiences that they have to live their lives with, so we can forgive him for that. A Sniper Girl says, my biological father was an abusive drunk. Oh no. My biological mum didn't do anything to stop it. Maybe she was afraid of him. That's terrible, Sniper Girl. I'm sorry to hear that. Being a drunk is bad enough. Being an abusive drunk is just terrible. You turned out okay, which is good though. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That's just awful. And you shouldn't be too down on your mum because maybe if he was abusive, she might have been concerned for her own safety as well. I mean, I know that doesn't excuse it. I'm not trying to make excuses for your mum, but yeah, there are lots of things to think about when you're in an abusive relationship with someone, which is never good. You should never be in any abusive relationship with anyone, guys. If your partner, your husband, your wife, whoever, girlfriend, boyfriend, if they're abusive, you don't stay in that relationship, because you're worth more than being abused. So don't do it. Andrew Luss says, art problems are fine. I agree. Sniper Girl says, my older biological brother that I was adopted with had drinking issues himself. He's been sober for years. Well, I'm glad to hear he's sobered up. And that's the other problem, of course, because I don't want to make generalizations, but generally if you're in an abusive situation as growing up, like say alcohol, the chances of you becoming alcoholic in later life increase. I don't know why that is, but yeah. But I'm glad that he's been sober and staying sober, because that's good. Alford says, I went out to a pretty nice place a while ago. I had some venison and mead with it. Wow. Yum, venison. You know, what would be my favourite meat? I think lamb is probably my favourite meat, you know. But they're all good. I like all meat. I'm a real carnivore. Put any meat in front of me and I'll eat it. Andrew Luss says, family drinking issues is the reason I don't drink. Yeah. I was lucky in that my family life, my mother and my father were not alcoholic. They didn't abuse alcohol. That's not the reason I don't drink. I just don't drink because I don't like the feeling I get being hungover anymore. But when I was younger, I used to drink like a fish. So you sort of grow out of it, I think, as you get older as well. But I was never abusive. I mean, I would drink with friends and party. But I was never an abusive drunk. What sort of drunk would I have been? I wasn't a sad drunk. I wasn't an abusive drunk. Probably just a generally messy drunk, you know. Spill drinks over everyone. Trip over, all that sort of thing. I was generally a pretty happy drunk though. And boys and girls, if you're under the drinking age, you shouldn't be drinking anyway. Don't drink. It's bad. Southwood says, depends on what art problem it is. My topology and UVs are trash. You really don't like the UVs, do you? Look, and I don't blame you because I don't like them either. You know that. I don't like UV mapping. Sniper Girl says, to Android does, yeah, they're true there. I'm not anti-alcohol or anything. It's just never been for me to try. Well, that's fine. It's good. Because a lot of people do have a problem with alcohol, or can develop a problem with alcohol. Yeah. I was going to say generally people that suffer an addiction, whether it's alcohol or drugs or whatever, there are other underlying problems in their life, and they use the alcohol or the drugs to escape those problems. So finding out what the reason is you want to drink a lot, or what the reason is you want to do drugs a lot, or whatever it is probably the best way to try and stop that addiction. Selfless One says, will you be for food? Yura says, my first night in Menorca, the bar staff were taking bets whether we'd be up for breakfast the next morning. We arrived at our hotel when our happy hour started, so they made the most of it. Their happy hour is normal prices, but they give you doubles. Oh, wow. God, you'd be obliterated in no time if they're giving you doubles. Sniper Girl says she was an a-hole, ran a site that was something like getthefedoutofhere.org or something like that. She made excuses for my biological father more than 20 years after the fact. Well, that's no good. Well, you know, I don't care who these people are. If they're your parents and they're assholes, well, you just drop them. That's, you know, my father is a nasty piece of work as well. I think he might be dead now. I haven't spoken to him for like 10 years. So that's my attitude. If just because they're your parents, you're not obligated to speak to them. If they're nasty, horrible people, then you just ghost them completely. So yeah, you don't want to be dealing with horrible people, regardless of whether they're your parents or not. Just because they're your parents doesn't mean you got to talk to them. Pardon me. Abigail says, saying he was well on the way of recovery, abusing kids while drinking isn't on the way to recovery. No, it's not. Snappergirl says, honestly, I hope they're both dead. Fair enough. They sound pretty horrible. Hellwood says, I did see a video a while ago about how to make doner kebab at home fairly easily. Oh, I like a doner kebab. That's a good hangover cure. Doner kebab. So are dim sims. Steamed, not fried. Steamed dim sims. Best thing for a hangover the next morning. Whack a couple of them in a bowl with a little bit of water in the microwave for like, a minute. And you're good to go. It's quick, it's tasty, it's cheap. Hellwood says, that's about the only lamb I eat. We have kebab pizza here in Sweden, so I tend to eat that from time to time with a cold pint. I love lamb. I actually, over the weekend, I did a Greek-style lamb stew. So yeah, I love lamb. I love doing lamb roasts as well, with roasted vegetables. I tend to do that at least once a month. Because I love me the lamb, because lamb meat is very tender. If you slow cook it, like don't try and fast cook it. When I say slow cook it, you got to cook it in the oven for like 3 hours. Or if, in the case of the stew that I did on the weekend, you have to let that boil on a low heat for about 2.5 to 3 hours. So long as you really slow cook the meat, it comes out so tender. Euro says, I like UVs. Well, you're weird, Euro. No, it's good that you like UV mapping. I personally don't. But there you go. It's really important to get a good texture map to have good UVs. So it's good that you like doing it, but I don't like doing it. Andrew Lust says to Snapper Girl, I would be anti-alcohol after dealing with that. I guess the abuse went further than just alcohol. Selfless One says, start stream, models for 30 minutes, begins UV mapping for the next 6 hours, chat leaves. I haven't even started doing any work yet. I've just been chatting away all morning, which is fine. It's my stream. If I want to chat, I'll chat. We will do some work in a minute though. I promise YouTube people, if you're watching me, you fast forward me up until you see me starting to work and you can press play again. If you're watching me back on YouTube later on. Helpwood says, I know that feeling right there, Selfless One. Android Lost says, UVs aren't that bad. Euro says, 6 hours of UVs seem disproportionately long for a 30-minute of modelling. Helpwood says, depends on how much modelling work was done before the start of the stream. I didn't know. No, I was doing stuff for work, but yeah. Snapper Girl says they are sperm and egg donors adopted at the age of 7. The people that adopted me are my parents. Oh, the assholes that gave me life, they haven't been in my life for, I don't know, 25 plus years. But it was your adopted parents that you're saying that were not nice? I'm just trying to, yeah, I'm assuming, because I guess you haven't. Have you met your biological parents, Sniper Girl? Or you have no interest? Some people have no interest, which again is fine. I get that as well. Sniper Girl says, I don't see them as my parents. Selfless One says, my favourite game is Rhizome UV though. Yes, no, I like Rhizome. Makes UV mapping much less painful. Much less painful. I like Rhizome as well. Euro says 3D Studio Max is more fun. Well, Max has the updated UV tools and the latest update to Max 2022, so that's based on Rhizome's algorithm. And they did update it recently, so. Android Lost says, luckily you didn't deal with that for 18 years. Yeah. Sniper Girl says, prefer the game of Maya. Alford says, at this point we should have a cooking channel on the Discord. There seems to be some awesome foods out there. We should, you know. Because again, anyone that's watching that hasn't been on my channel before, I used to be a chef. So I did my apprenticeship, my 4-year apprenticeship as a chef, specialising in Italian food and desserts. So a channel on the Discord for cooking wouldn't be a bad idea, probably. Because everyone has to eat. We all eat. And I'm assuming we all cook at some stage. Cooking is fun. I mean, just because I left the industry. Don't think that I hate the industry. I loved cooking, and I still love cooking. I just didn't like the late hours, and I didn't like the pressure. I don't know if you're aware of this, but a lot of chefs end up being alcoholics. Going back full circle again here. They tend to drink to deal with the fact that we have to work until like 2 in the morning. Because restaurants generally close kitchen at midnight, but you still get people that want stuff past midnight. So you generally don't finish. And then you've got to clean as well after the restaurant kitchen is closed. You've got to clean everything. Just because you're a chef, you still have to clean stuff. And particularly in my case, because I was doing desserts, dessert is always the very last meal that people have after dinner. So I was always in the kitchen. I never left work until like 2 in the morning, and I'd start work at like 10 a.m. and I'd finish at like 2 a.m. the following day. And they give you like an hour's break mid-afternoon, sort of like a dinner break. So it's long hours, it's stressful, the kitchen's generally hot because they don't usually air condition a kitchen. Why? There's ovens everywhere. So I didn't enjoy it. But I do like cooking for friends and family, but just not commercially for a restaurant full of 300 people, which is the last restaurant, not the very last one, but the one before that I worked at used to seat 400 people. So it was a real nightmare. Selfless One says Houdini, smug look, he likes Houdini. The Hellboy says, I only play Blender because I can't drop the coins for the Maya sub. Fair enough, Blender's really good. We don't play favourites with 3D software on my channel. You guys know, I've said it all along. All of them are really good now. Whether it's Blender, whether it's Max, whether it's Maya, whether it's Houdini, whether it's anything. Cinema 4D, that's what Lagmog uses. They're all good. They're all really good. But I have to say Max is my baby. I do love 3D Studio Max. But I'm not saying it's better than any other 3D software. Hero says Slacker. Snappy Girl says LOL. Hellboy says... Hellboy just popped an ArtStation link in chat. Snappy Girl says, my biological parents are the ones that were messed up. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Selfless One, I was getting confused. I wasn't sure whether it was your biological or your adopted parents that were not nice. Well, they did you a favour then, Sniper Girl, didn't they? By putting you up for adoption because you wouldn't want to live with that. Selfless One says, already following them on ArtStation, love their work. Who's the ArtStation you link to, Hellforge? Let me check it out. Let me have a look. That's my website, guys, for anyone that wants to check me out. Oh, yeah. Did we look at this? Yeah. Was this what we looked at a few weeks? Yeah, I think it was. This is the, yeah, this is from that game, isn't it? Which I was saying that I was impressed with the amount of detail that they got in the level, but this is an isometric game, which makes a lot of sense now. Yeah, but beautiful work though, like really nice modeling and texturing and scene setup work. Really nice. Helpwood says, living on takeout alone seems pretty miserable. Both for health and the wallet. Yeah, look, takeaway food can get incredibly expensive. It's not just that. I like cooking because I like to know what goes into my food. You got to trust the person at the takeaway that they're doing the right thing with their food preparation and everything. No, don't think I'm paranoid, because I'm not, because I get takeaway. But I like to cook my own meals because I like to know what's going into my food. And I like to buy like organic stuff as well, like organic potatoes and pasta and all that sort of stuff. Try and be as healthy as I possibly can. I mean, I'm not healthy, don't get me wrong, but I try. I do try. Snappy Girl says, to Android Dust, yeah, 18 years somebody would have died. Smurf says, is a Just Chat? I know, Smurfberry. No, today is not the Just Chat stream. We are going to continue working on our game. Smurf says, I play favourites. Hero says, Notepad++. Selfless One says Wings 3D for the win. Snappy Girl says was either that or jail. People reported them. Oh, okay. Well, they did you a favour, Snappy Girl. You're glad you got away from that. Helpwood says, yeah, I posted another AS post from the game a couple of weeks ago. Okay. Helpwood says, I really like cooking too. It's a creative process and it's fun to figure out the different flavour combinations and learn the different ways to cook stuff to change the flavour and texture. It is. Look, cooking is fun. It is fun. Not as much fun as 3D, of course, but it is fun. And yeah, you can be very creative when you're cooking food, for sure. And like I said, I still like cooking. I just don't like cooking in a restaurant anymore. But once you've got your apprenticeship, if I ever wanted to, I could always go back to it. Not that I plan to, but you know. If you ever get desperate, I can't find work in 3D, I could always go back to chefing. Slum it as a chef. Yes, Mercury says YouTube is going to eviscerate me. They are. They're going to be so angry. I'm sorry, YouTube. Like I said, fast forward me. Or play me on double speed so I sound like a chipmunk till you get to this bit here where we start working. Helpwood says, just so much stuff to learn and experiment with. YouTube can suck it, Helpwood says. Euro says, eating it is more fun. Okay. Snappy Girl says, what you should do is only upload the parts where you're... Oh yeah, they don't have to do a lot more editing though. They can fast forward me. Look, I love my YouTube audience. You guys watching me on YouTube, thank you. I do appreciate you watching me. And you can fast forward me through all of the boring talk bits that I do on my Twitch channel here before I actually get to doing any work. But the week before, we were working on this gate, so we want to finish this today. Let's see how we go. I'll do my best. Now, we got to the stage where we finished texturing up this part of the gate. I'm just trying to decide whether I should do something more. Oh no, I can't. Okay. With the F, I was going to... I thought I'd place like a mesh inside of the lettering, but I haven't. It's just an extrusion of the letter. That's okay, so that means we can't do anything more with that. That's fine. So this is done. I'm pretty sure we did everything. We added dirt layers. We added the mossing, even though metal doesn't have moss on it, but moss doesn't grow on metal, but hey, we can put it on, why not? Yeah, so, and then we have the lettering. So let's export this and then we can do the other half of the gate, because I don't want to I can't duplicate one half of the gate to the other because of the F and the B, the different letters. I could separate those, but I don't want to do that. And I do want the texture to look different on each part of the gate. I don't just want to reuse the same texture. I do want it to look a little different, just to make it a bit more interesting, because this is going to be a main feature in the game and in the first landscape for you to get to the second landscape, which is where that Art Nouveau building is. So yeah, it's sort of like a main part of the first landscape, this gate. So we want to make it unique. So let's export the textures for this. We're going to send it to UE4, models, car gate, and then we're going to create a new folder like we did with the post. So we're going to call this one gate. This is the left-hand gate, gate left. Yes, that's my PBR template, that's all good. Car gate left, export. I agree though, eating it is more fun, Euro. For sure. Snappy Girl says, what you should do is only upload the... Oh, sorry, Helpwood says, now I kind of want to know what Phil sounds like at 2.5 speed. Coffee and save. Well, alright, let's do the save and the coffee, because why not? Any excuse for me to have a coffee. Euro says, kitchen and food, be right back. Helpwood says, the Euro swims safe. Okay, so let's jump into Max. And what we've done is we have duplicated the left-hand side gate for the right hand side gate. And then we have re-UV mapped it to include the B. So the F on that one, the B on this one. This one also has this divider that sits at the front of the gate. This one doesn't. So it's vertex colored identically to this one, which is good, that's what we want. But let's just turn off the vertex coloring so I don't get confused. We have a high and a low version of this one as well, so let's see, what have we got here? This is the low res, so this is the right gate low res. Let's export that. Gate export gateway. I'm going to re-export them. We have already exported them all by the look of it, but we'll do it again just to be on the safe side to make sure all of our meshes are lining up correctly. So this one is the right gate low res. Gate right low res. Yeah. Gate right low res. And now we want the high res one. So this is the gate right high res. Gate right high res. Okay, we'll go back to the low res version so we don't get confused. Just make sure we save our file. Snappy Girl says to Hellforge he does have a YouTube channel, one way to find out. Hellforge says, yep, full chipmunk at that speed. Just had a listen. Phil, Hellforge says, Phil, have you started using Marmoset Toolbag for your bakes? No, I haven't actually, not yet. I haven't installed Marmoset. I have it downloaded, but I haven't installed it. I should do that. I don't know, I feel, I don't know. The new version of Marmoset, Marmoset 4, you can download like materials and stuff, and it's gigabytes worth of data, which is not an issue. I mean, I have the space, that's not the problem. It just seems wasteful to me to install a program like Marmoset and only use it for baking. But I should. Look, I really should, because I do want to see what the bakeouts are like in Marmoset, because you guys love Marmoset, and look, I haven't used Marmoset for a very long time, but when I did use it, it was a very good program. Okay, so we need to create smart materials out of this before we bring in the other side. So we're going to right click and we're going to create a smart material. My car gate. It looks like I may have already exported it. That's okay. We do the lettering as well, so we're going to export create a smart material from the lettering as well. My car gate lettering. Okay, we should be good now. Andrew Dust says he hasn't. Yura says Mamo is Bay. I know, all you guys love Marmoset, I know, and it is good software. I really have to install it and check it out. Again, the new version. Elfwood says, use it for portfolio renders as well. You keep saying you haven't uploaded anything to ArtStation in decades. Yeah, I tend to use V-Ray and Max to do my my portfolio beauty renders. So if I want to do a shot or a rotation on a model, I tend to use Max and V-Ray. But Marmoset, I'm sure will do a really good job too, so I really should check it out. There's a new version of V-Ray that's been released as well for anyone that uses V-Ray, which is very good. I think it's 5.2, the version number. If you're a V-Ray person, Sniper Girl says, yeah, honestly, I agree. Uploading renders in Marmoset allow them to move it around. Full 360 degrees. Hero says I don't do that. I don't know if I would either. I prefer to create a video of a rotation, a 360 rotation. Okay, let's create a new project. And we're going to be selecting the right gate, low res. Gate right, low res. Now again, we're working in 4K because the game engine will knock it back to 2K. We're not using UV tile and we are computing in tangent space, so that should all be good. Okay. Hang on. Something, it looks like we might be flipped. Yeah, and again, this is something I've noticed happens in Max. You see our UVs are flipped. You can look at it here. And that's because we did a mirror in Max of the left gate, and I've noticed Max, when it mirrors stuff, tends to flip the UVs, to flip the normals for some reason. It's very odd. Max does it all. It's been a bug in Max since version 2016 or something, and Autodesk have never fixed it. I don't know why. I mean, it's easy to correct, but yeah, just odd that Autodesk have never got around to fixing it. And you see in Max though, it does look correct. It does not look flipped. I can tell from the color. So if I go to flip it now, that is flipped. That is not. It's very strange the way Painter flips the export from Max. Why? Why? Well, we can flip it, export it. We'll see what Painter does with that. Selfless One says, I need an art fix. Take care and eat it too. Take cake and eat it too. Alfred says you can rotate models, camera and lights and everything else like you can in Max. Yeah, look, I know. And it's probably easier to do in Marmoset than it is to set it up in Max. Although I tend to use a scene that I've already created, so I just swap the model in and out. But I'm sure it's much easier in Marmoset to do that sort of thing. Euro says assets can be ripped from those 3D viewer files. Yeah, that's again one of the reasons why I don't do it either. I don't use those 3D viewers, I just upload a movie of a rotation. Just to be on the safe side. Snappy Girl says, wouldn't doubt it. Euro says, I do what Phil said, turntable rendered to a video. Elford says, normal flip? Yeah, they are. The normals are flipped, but I don't know why. If you look at Max here, the normals are not flipped. According to Max, they're fine. But when we import it into Painter, Painter is flipping the normals for some reason. Euro says, reset the X-form? Yep, let's do that. When in doubt, a reset is always a good idea. Yeah, I just want to... Yep. Let's re-export it again. Actually, just want to check something here. Yeah, no, that's okay. Let's re-export it again. Gate, right, low res. Back into Painter. New project. Reload, gate, right, low res. Discard. And now we are correct. So yep, like Euro suggests, reset on the X-form is always the way to go if you have an issue. Euro says you mirrored an object. If you reset the transform, it saves the new coordinates. Helpwood says, did you have OpenGL in the project settings in Painter? No, I think it's DirectX in Painter. Andrew Doss says, Euro, I guess it's similar to how people rip models from Sketchfab. Yeah. Although you can download a lot of models from Sketchfab for free anyway. It's a good resource actually, Sketchfab. And Yura says to Android DOS, yep, exactly the same. Helpwood says, and copy. Yura says, ta-da, yep. Good job. Yes, now again, you've seen me use the Reset X form quite a bit on the different things that I've done. I actually had forgotten about. I thought I had already done one, but obviously not. So a good suggestion, Yura. Fixes all manner of problems or reset. Let's bake out now from the high res. So we're going to load up the right gate high res. Gate right high res. We'll leave everything on default, but we're not going to bake out the ID map from the high res mesh. Let's hope we have these lined up correctly and we don't have that issue. Yeah, that was the reason we were having problems with the bake out the week before last, because the meshes weren't completely aligned. It looks to me like, I think the high res mesh, the normals might be flipped, so let's check that. So right gate high res, that's the one we want. Yeah, we have a couple of flipped normals here, so let's fix that up. So we want to flip that one. We want to... no, we don't want to flip that one. We want to flip this one. And I think we want to flip this one. And I think we'll have to do that for both sides as well. Flip. Flip. And flip. I think we're okay now. I think. Yeah, I think we should be alright. Oops. So let's re-export the high-res version. And select it, because Max doesn't know what I want to export if I don't select it. Gate right high-res. So have none of you been tempted to install Windows 11 yet? I know that Smurf says over his cold dead body, but no one else has attempted to install it or play with it. It's not bad, you know. I mean, I've been using it here on my main machine for a good few weeks now, and I like it. It's pretty good. I've not run into any major issues. Yes, vertex color in the ID tab. Thank you for reminding me. We'll do that in a minute when we bake out the ID color, which is what we're going to do right now. So we baked out just the everything else except for the. Hang on, it looks like I might have missed something. Yeah, looks like I missed here as well. One more time for good luck. So it looks like I missed here, which means I would have missed this one as well. Okay, let's re-export it again. Gate right high res. I always like to re-add it just to be on the safe side. Gate right, high res. And back. Yura says, it's the way Max works with objects and coordinates. Basically, if you use modifiers like mirror, there's plenty of others that won't register the new coordinates until you either throw and edit the polys on and collapse the stack, or reset the transform which saves the new object coordinates. The same thing goes for UV mapping. Like if I select a mesh, mirror it, then 9 times out of 10 the UV mapping goes all funny on it. Like it, yeah. So if you, like the channel info basically, so if you're in Max and you have your model and you use the channel info to copy between, that's how you fix it, by using the channel info basically. So if this was textured, I duplicated it. Odds are that in the duplicate, Max will mess up the UVs. So then to fix that, you just go into the channel info and copy and paste that way. So yeah, there are a couple of little quirks with Max when it comes to mirroring or duplicating meshes and UVs. Yura says, that completes my TED talk for today. Halford says, until he runs into another issue. Halford says, remember to save as well now that you've made some changes to the Max file. Very good suggestion. Let's go back to the low res and let's do a save. And back into Painter. Now we're going to bake out the just the ID map, so we don't want the high res mesh anymore. We don't want anything except for the ID map. And we're going to do the vertex color, and we're going to use the low poly as the high poly, just with the ID. Bake. Okay. Smithberry says, shakes his fist. Yura says, I'll do it when they push it to me, which they haven't done yet. Android Lust says, what Yura said. Halford says, isn't there a checkbox somewhere to tell it to mirror the UVs as well on the model? I don't recall seeing one. See, when what I generally tend to do is with Max, you know, I won't. I've got my mesh here and I want a copy of it, so I generally hold the shift key down and do that to make a copy. And that can mess the UVs up sometimes in Max. And that's how you fix it with the channel info. So yeah, I just tend to use the shortcut there to holding the shift key down. You can mirror as well, like, and mirroring, I tend to find that it creates more issues doing a mirror. Fixable, of course, but yeah. But I shift copy meshes all the time when I'm doing poly reduction work or that sort of thing, because I want the original. And then I want to do a reduction, and I like to use the original as a comparison between what it looked like and what it looks like once I do a poly reduction on it. And I want obviously to see the texture map as well. So, okay, so we're going to assign our car gate material. And I can have a copy while Substance Painter thinks about it. Kamal says, 5 AM here, I must sleep, take care. Thanks for popping in, Kamal. It was good to see you, good to chat with you. Remember to keep doing that artwork. You have a good night's sleep, Kamal. And thanks for popping in. Euro says, usually it does, sometimes it boo-boos, but there's easy way to fix them. Android Lust says, damn, 5 AM. Latest, Kamal. It's 2 AM where Euro is. You take care too, Kamal. It was good to see you. Euro says, I haven't used Substance in over a year now. I feel clean. What do you use if you don't use Substance, Euro? What are you using for your daily driver? To do your texture painting or your texturing work? I'm just curious. I'm just not sure. We have a bit of an issue going on here. And I'm trying to work out why. That looks like UVs to me. Oh, we have the issue down here as well. I'm just going to jump back into Max and check the UV mapping on that asset. UVs should be alright. Let's just throw a checker pattern down so I can have a look. This is Cargate Post. Cargate right. Yeah, we've got an issue with the UVs. I thought it was. How annoying. How very annoying. And this is one of the case of, because we did a copy of the left-hand gate here, so the UVs should be identical. The only difference we made was we added the B to this one. But you see how that's completely messed up the UVs? So, what are my options here? Why it messed them up, I can't tell you. Let's see if we can fix it with a repack. It probably won't fix the problem, but it's worth a try. Just wait for Max here. Oh, it's still going. You can't see it, it's hidden behind me, but it is counting up. I closed it, okay. No, it did not fix the problem. Now, why the UVs are messed up, again, this is one of those weird things that happens with Macs. I'm just trying to think of how I can fix this without having to re-UV map that side of the gate. So I'm going to start by removing the map we just put on. We are going to select both of them, because this one is UV mapped correctly. So. Let's see. Let's do an unwrap, and I'm going to copy the unwrap. Yeah, it does not like the it's because they're not an identical mesh. One has an F, one has a V. Okay, let's see if we can do something else. Let's start by separating the B. Your helpboard says, what are you using nowadays for texturing? Yeah, it's Yura. Yura says, I haven't had any texturing work this year. Models, high and low, UVs and baked maps. Yep, UVs being weird, helpboard. That's exactly the problem we're having. Yura says, it's good in a way. I can crunch through a ton of models and not have to spend hours texturing them. I actually like texturing. I find texturing is fun. I like texture painting and texturing models. I just don't like UV mapping them. Yura says it sucks in another way because I haven't textured anything. Helpwood says, I get that. Focusing on one thing alone makes it easier to make a ton of progress. Yura says, yeah, I don't bite the hand that feeds me. Helpwood says, that's the main reason why I don't want to branch out into generalist. It takes so much time away from modelling and texturing. Yura says, sometimes yes, sometimes no. I just do the work I get through contracts, whatever it may be. Snappy Girl says, wow, it was blurry. For some reason, it put me on 160p. Well, that would have been an improvement here, Snappy Girl. Would have made me look all smooth and much younger than I am. Yura says, I do have a choice, though. I'm not going to tender for any kind of art that I'm not good at. Well, that's fair enough. Let's separate the B here. So we're going to do a detach. Let's also, pardon me, let's collapse the stack. Actually, no, we don't need to unwrap here. I only put that on to do a test, so let's get rid of that unwrap. Let's separate the air. All of this because I'm just trying to avoid having to re-UV map this section of the gate. That's basically what's going on here. Okay, so now we can duplicate this half of the gate, and again I'm going to hold the shift key down here and drag. I could use the mirror tool, but I'm going to do it this way instead of the mirror tool. We used the mirror tool, I think, when we made this version, so let's see if we can fix it this way. So shift copy. Actually, the other thing I have to do here is I have to going to get rid of that checker pattern because it's getting confusing. I need to also separate this divider. So you see Facebook rebranded as Meta. Not Facebook anymore, but well, they're keeping Facebook name, but the company is now called Meta. Because they want to push the metaverse. Because we all know how well the metaverse went when it was, what was the first social network years ago? MySpace maybe? Or no, not MySpace. There was that social metaverse thing where you could buy land and you had an avatar in 3D space. I can't even remember what it was called now. Second Life, yeah, I think it was called Second Life. So yeah, Facebook are trying to reinvent Second Life all over again, calling it the metaverse. Look, they're not the only ones. Epic Games are trying to do it as well. Let's detach that. Okay. So this UV should be fine. What I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to throw, well, what I'm going to do is I have a couple of options. I'm going to have to mirror it anyway. Let's do a mirror. Actually, let's do this. Let's select it. Clone it. Mirror it. And before I do that, I'm going to check the UVs on it. by throwing down the texture. See, now we see our UVs are correct, so that should not be an issue. Everything's good, but we need to add some bits to it now, so let's get rid of the checker so it's not so busy. We need to... I'm just going to rename this one right gate LR_old. And we're going to rename this one right gate LR_new. And we want to move it into the same position as the old one. We'll make sure it's completely lined up. It should be, but we're just going to make sure. You can use snap to, there's a snap tool here where I could snap one mesh to another. That's another valid way to make sure they're lined up. Okay, they're lined up. That's good. Let's hide the old version now. Let's check the UV mapping on the B. Perfect. It should be alright. And I don't know that this is UV map, so let's check this. I'm pretty sure it's probably not. No, I don't think it is. Or is it? Let's assign that checker pattern to it and have a look. I don't think it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to send that over to Rhizome and UV map it. So, Rhizome. That. And let's go with this one, I believe. Let's try one of the others, see if we can't get a better result. They're all pretty much a muchness, really. Nope. Yeah, I think we'll just go back to what we had to begin with here. So this one. Let's send it back to max. Okay, the F and that are UV mapped. The gate is UV mapped. So let's now attach the letter. Okay, fine. You want to be like that, fine. Before we do that, let's reset the X form. Collapse the stack. Attach the B and attach that bit at the front. And do an unwrap UVW and get Max to do a repack. Now what are we talking about? Helpwood says, I recall I used to watch a streamer whose main job was to make assets for Second Life that people would buy in-game for real money. Yeah, look, a lot of people did make money selling assets in Second Life. For sure, I never did, but I did hear about it. You can make some decent money selling stuff on Second Life. The metaverse, the metaverse. Yura says, yep, all those Daz 3D smutty models on ArtStation are pretty much for Second Life. Alpha says, isn't Epic's metaverse basically Fortnite with more bells and whistles? Pretty much, yeah. I think they're trying to turn Fortnite into a metaverse. I don't get the whole obsession with these big companies with the metaverse. I really don't. I have no intention of hanging out in any metaverse. Can't imagine anything worse. Android Lust says, Daz 3D on ArtStation pisses me off. So much. Yura says, yeah, there was a spell where they just flooded it with that stuff. Android Lust says, some people spam their Daz work on their unrelated tags. Yura says, it's people doing their thing though, to each their own. Yeah, fair enough. Hellford says, if I was a character artist, I'd totally do not suitable for work commissions. One of the players in my old tabletop RPG group does 2D commission art, and he makes a good living from it. Yeah, people love not suitable for work characters, for sure. Android Lust says, it would be okay if the tags were fine. Euro says, there's a lot of that miscategorization goes on. They do it on purpose. People farming karma. Those D's need to go back to Reddit. Yeah, people mischaracterize on purpose to get more exposure and stuff. Alfred says, I think I've missed most of the Daz stuff on AS. I did see a fair bit of low effort stuff on the AS marketplace though. Alford says, can't open the marketplace there nowadays without drowning in titty pics for reference. Sniper Girl says to Hellforge, yeah, can imagine. Yura says, before all the Daz spam and the low effort stuff, AS used to just be full of amazing portfolios and people actually tried harder. They pushed themselves to do better and as a result, the majority of the art was pretty great. Hellforge says, don't get me wrong, I'm all for looking at naked women. I just don't want to have to sit through 50 pages of it when I'm looking for brushes, trims and grunge math. Android Lust says, I stumbled upon an AS account when they used MS Paint. There was 100 plus portfolio pieces of it too under random tags. I honestly wouldn't mind if I could block their art somehow, but you can't. Euro says, God, that account, it's like a really bad Picasso. They literally flooded the weapons category with crap. Andrew Lust says, you've seen it too, huh? Okay, so we've repacked. Let's check the UVs. And our UVs look okay, but I think we might still have a couple of flipped normals, so let's check that. So we can remove that. Oh, no, I want to redo that. There we go. Let's collapse the stack. I'm just going to turn off the checker and we're going to isolate the new one. We're going to do a reset on the normal again just to make sure. A reset on the X-form, reset on the normal. Collapse the stack. We should be alright. And check. And I think we're good. I'm just going to check that checker again because I can't remember if I UV mapped the B or not. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. Okay, let's try this again. Let's export the left gate low res. The right gate. Not the left gate, the right gate. Right gate low res. And we want to remove the old one, which will be this one here. Yeah, that's the old one. We don't want that one anymore. Because we have the new one. Now I'm just going to remove the new from the end of it so I don't get confused. Okay. Let's jump back into Painter. How are we going for time? Andrew Doss says 100 plus was me being generous. It seemed more like 1000 plus. Sniper Girl says some MS Paint work can be amazing. Andrew Doss says no, not that account. Ira says I reported them for posting garbage. I'm not afraid to admit that. Even Nimlot was emailing people about AS about it. It was that bad. Sniper Girl says posted a vid in general on someone making a pretty damn good Thanos in MS Paint. Somehow I mean wow. That does look cool. That looks very cool actually. Considering they did that in Paint, that is amazing. Check it out on the Discord. She posted it in the general chat. Praise be to Moogs, says. So yeah, Selfless One, I see you posted some models in the gallery. I'll show those off just before I sign off so soon. Because Sniper Girl posted another picture from her drone at sunset, which looks very sweet. Chiotara is also doing a bust of a creature, person, not sure. But it's coming along nicely. And of course Andrew Lust did another beautiful model, character model and render, so we'll check that out. And Selfless One as well, so yep, we'll look at those in a minute. Helpwood says copy and save. Android Love says there's another similar one that posted a ton of abstract pieces. It wasn't MS Paint, but all looked exactly the same. Again, I'm being generous calling it abstract. Yura says back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I used to watch a stoner dude stream on his webcam of him in MS Paint. That guy was amazing, what he could do in a few hours. Android Lost says if they posted that I wouldn't complain. Sniper Girl says 0, wow. Yeah, the one that Sniper Girl just posted in the Discord, it's very nice, nicely done. If it's done in MS Paint then that's quite amazing. Okay, let's create a new project, we'll start fresh. Select the gate right low res. Discard. And wait for Painter, there we go. Let's bake out the maps using the high res model. Gate right high res. We don't want to bake out the ID map though. Okay, let's now add the smart material we created for the other gate. Here says his day job was a pool cleaner in Florida. He'd get home, hit 420 and paint. Yura says this was in the days before streaming was even a thing. So was this in like the Justin TV days, which was before it turned into Twitch? Or was it a completely different streaming service? Okay, well that's fixed our UVs, but our oh that's right, we haven't baked out the ID map, so let's fix that up. So bake. We're going to remove the high res, we're going to use the low res as the high and just bake out the ID map. And we're going to do vertex color. Long before Justin TV? Okay. What are you posting there, Halfwood? What's this link? What's this JPEG link? This Reddit JPEG link? Let me check it out. Better be suitable for work. I love my job. All you do is boss me around all day. You gotta love sheep. They're so cute. They're tasty too. Yura says I was a community webcam. It was a community webcam site. People would go just to hang out and chat. Oh, cool. See, if we'd realised just how popular streaming would become, we could have made a fortune now. It could have got in early on the first Twitch. You know, I remember years ago watching, before Twitch was a thing as well, you used to be able to, what do they used to call it? In games like Doom or Quake, I can't remember which one, you used to be able to go into spectator mode. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but basically what would happen is, in the multiplayer game, you'd be playing your multiplayer character, and somebody else could log into the server and go into spectator mode, which was basically you'd see through the eyes of that guy playing the multiplayer game. I remember doing that years and years and years ago, way before Twitch. Logging in and going into spectator mode to watch people play multiplayer games from the first person perspective. Yura says the internet sucked back then. No dial-up at 512k DSL, didn't it? Just, man, it sucked. Sniper Girl says 20,000 more points and you're playing the game I posted in Discord. No! I don't know if you guys saw the game she wants me to play in Discord, but it's awful. Absolutely awful. It's some My Little Pony thing. What is it? Horse riding tails. It just looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. In fact, let's have a look at it. Let's have a good look at it on Steam. No wonder it's free to play. It looks shocking. Absolutely shocking. I mean, I don't want to diss the devs. I mean, the game... I'm sure the game is nicely put together, but man... Ride with your friends. Oh. The horse riding game of your dreams is finally here. Tame wild horses. Ooh. Wow. Man. No, no. I don't have that game installed though. Pardon me. See, I'm still recovering from last week's Melbourne Cup drinking. Helpwood says silly picture. Yura says dad jokes. Yura says the internet sucked back then. Yura says I don't click the link. I'm scared enough from life already. I trust Helpwood. He would not send a dodgy link. He's one of the moderators. You can trust Helpwood. Or any of the moderators. That includes Sniper Girl and Smurfy Barbecue. Sniper Girl says, yeah, it's free to play, no excuses. Android Lost says, this is another portfolio that I found and hated because of the spam under tags. Let's have a look. Let's name and shame these people's portfolios. Well, if they're doing the wrong thing, they should be named and shamed. This is one that that Android Lost does not like. bit disturbing, some of this, but anyway. What don't you like about this? The fact that they're spamming what? Because of the spam under tags. Andrew Lust says everything. He hates it all. Hey, listen, this is a unique art style. I'm not dissing the art style. I think it's quite unique. Oh wow! I see what's going on. I see what you don't like. I agree. Yeah. Don't do this sort of stuff. Where you're just repeating the same image, basically just making a small change. But it's interesting. Like, the artwork is interesting. I'm not going to say it's not. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's interesting. If you're into that sort of thing. Android Lust says 5,925 portfolio pieces. Euro says, I mean Sniper Girl's Steam link. Oh, I see. You can trust Sniper Girl as well. Android Lust says 6,000 pieces. Mep says, oof. Android Lust says everything is the same. Yeah, Euro says they are tagged with the wrong categories. So it fills the character art with stuff that isn't character related. Yeah. Halford says, I saw on LinkedIn that one of those horse games were looking for an environment artist a while back. Oh man, could you imagine? Android Lust says they could have just had 20 and it'd be fine. I'd be fine with it. I agree. Yeah, no, I can see why you're getting annoyed with people doing that sort of thing. Why do they do that sort of thing? Do they not know any better, or are they doing it on purpose? Or why put up 20 images that are basically all the same thing? I get people miscategorizing tags. Like I said, that's a promotion thing. They're trying to get seen by more people. But putting 20 copies of the same image pretty much up, I don't understand that. Maybe it's just to flood the page so that people have no option but to look at your work. I don't know. You just piss people off. It's not a productive way to go about trying to promote your work either way. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to remove the blank layer at the bottom. We are going to add the lettering as well. So we have the gate texture and then we have the lettering as a separate material. Smart material. Okay. Now we just want to vary it up a bit because at the moment it's an exact copy of the other gate. We don't want that. So I'm going to go through and I'm just going to turn the dirt layer off momentarily. What we might start by doing is changing the moss layer up a little bit. So I'm just going to randomize the seed a bit. I'm going to change it up a little bit by maybe, we might pull up a little bit more on the moss on this side of the gate.
Intoxicated, I got a legend on the way. I'm falling for you, baby. What can I do to make you stay?
Okay, so we've got a bit more moss going on than on the other gate.
We've come too far to turn around. So
Let us
and let my feet not touch ground. I'm in the days and you're driving me crazy. Please can you stay even just for the night? I'm losing my way, but don't try to.
Okay, this one, let's make some changes to this one. copy and save help, which I'll do. Alright, let's do that. Let's do a save as. And this one is Cargate Right. And I can have a copy. Okay, so let's see if we can't make some adjustments to... Just gotta find the right layer. Which layer is it?
Get married and have a daughter, and live forever sweet and sound. But if I'm moving too fast for you, tell me honestly, what should I do? And if we're grooving too soon, let the playlist make the move. 'Cause I'm in a daze and you're driving me crazy. Please can you stay even just for the night?
In one of these layers. One of them's the one that I want. I just can't see it. Maybe this one.
And you're driving me crazy. Please can you stay even just for the night? I'm losing my way, but don't try to contain me, 'cause I'm still running wild.
No, it's not that one. Let's have a look at this one.
Are you ready?
Let's move on to maybe this one.
Are you ready?
I might pull it back a little bit. What else do we have here.
Are you ready?
Android Lost says, beats me, the MS Paint spammer was similar. Alpwood says, copying this note. Sniper says, this is why you should name your layers. I actually did name them. Well, no, I did not properly. I have my moss layer. Yeah, no, you're right. I did not name them correctly. This is the one that I'm working with, but I'm just trying to work out which part of this is the one that's maybe this one here. I think. Yeah, I wanted to pull out a little bit of the red. It was just starting to look a bit too red. So that's good. See, this one I'm known correctly, swirls, the swirly bits. Let's just play with the mask. Pull it back a little bit. And then the base metal. The base metal can stay the same. The moss layer though, what I might do is I might just change it up down here a little bit. So we go to the paint layer. And we might just paint it out a little bit more, I think. I'm going to change my brush as well. Let's go with what do we want to go with? We'll go with the heavy sponge. Let's have a look at that one.
Solo Spruce Street made me smile like Gucci sweet. I bet I could get her number sometime. She was just standing there as I walked away. I should have said hi. I thought to myself, oh, way better than the one before. Got a lot from just looking at her eyes, and I can't stop, can't get up.
I just want to check the lettering. Make sure we have that selected. There we go, that's better. Let's turn the dirt layer back on. We might pull up the dirt a little bit more on this copy, I think. And that should be good enough, I think. So let's save it. And let's export the textures. And this one we're sending to UE4 models, car gate, new folder, and this is going to be gate right. And let's export. And once this is exported, then we'll check out the work you guys posted in the Discord. Helpwood suggests to add color to mark your layers as well. A very good suggestion, Helpwood. Android Dust says you can color mark them in Substance. Helpwood says yep. Android Dust says I see it under the right click. I never noticed it. Yeah, we can group them here. Let's do a save. Let's make sure Max has been saved as well. So all we have left now is the urn, basically, and then the gate is textured up because we're just going to reuse the same texture on all the posts. But the gates have two separate textures. I just want to do a bit of an overpaint on this photogrammetry urn, which shouldn't take too long. Maybe just add a dirt layer and maybe lighten it up. We'll see how we go. And then we have to work on the rest of the fence line for this entryway. We can do that on stream, live on stream. We can work out how we want to design it. But we'll finish the urn tomorrow and then we'll tackle the fence. But let's check out what you guys have posted in the Discord server. So we're going to start with Sniper Girl's photograph from the drone at sunset, which looks really cool. Nice. Yeah, that's a nice shot. Nice shot of the sun there over the treetops. Looks beautiful. She says she's impressed with every time she takes pictures from the drone. Yeah, they do. They look really good. Tuatara is also working on a 3D model. Let's check this one out. Again, beautiful work, Tuatara. Tuatara says, sorry I haven't been in the stream much lately. Life, yep, I get it. But that's coming along really nicely. I like the detail work you've got going on in the face here. An alien creature, maybe? Gonna look awesome, textured up. But nice work as well, Tuatara. Android Luster, of course, who always makes beautiful work. Beautiful character work. He's posted 2 images here. She looks great. I love her. I just want to pop the other one in as well, then we'll have a look. Yeah, she looks really good, Android Lust. I love it. Again, all your work is always beautiful. Beautiful silhouettes, beautiful texturing, interesting models, lovely modeling work. Hair, fur, pose, it all looks great. She looks amazing, even down to the pearls. I love it. Really, really, really nice work. As usual, you always do beautiful work. Yeah, I really love it. Nice renders as well. Yeah, I love these plain backgrounds that you put in. They just really help the model to pop. I love the colour of the background as well. It's like a purpley blue. Lovely. Love it. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful work. Really, really lovely. You have an amazing portfolio of work, Android Bus. You really do. You've created some outstanding character models since you've been, well, that I've seen since you've been watching me. You just do beautiful work. And yeah, your portfolio must be looking amazing. Selfless One has also posted in the Discord. Let's check this out. So what are we looking at here? These audio decks, or but nice. Again, lovely work, Selfless One. These are like a low poly mesh that I'm looking at, but beautiful work as well, Selfless One. You all do wonderful, wonderful work. You should all be very proud. Rename Card. Hey, Rename Card. Yes, they do. Rename Card says, great stuff. Upward says, I can see that woman sitting down in an oversized armchair sipping brandy. I can too, particularly with this cigarette she's got going on here. And the nails. See the nails? Wow. Look at those nails. But yeah, lovely work. I'm wondering what's going on. When I alter the scaling on one image, it tries to apply it to them all. It's weird. Oh yeah, really, really lovely work. All of you have done amazing work. This is going to look amazing textured up too. So thank you for popping the images in the gallery and letting me show them on the stream, guys. I do love looking at the work you guys make. So if you're watching and you have anything you want to show off, jump on the Discord server, the Phil Does 3D Discord, pop it in the gallery, and we'll show it off on stream. But I think we might leave it there for today, guys and girls. I do want to thank you very much though for hanging out with me and for watching. I do appreciate it. I will be back on again tomorrow. We will finish working on the gate. We're just going to do the fence next. And I have no idea what sort of design we're going to come up with, but we'll tackle that tomorrow. And then we'll move on to doing something else for the game. There's lots to do. You're quite welcome. Thank you guys, yeah, like I said, for hanging out and watching. I do appreciate it. I will be back on again tomorrow. Same time, 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States is when I'm live. You guys take care. Have a good night, a good day, good early morning, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you guys.